I got dropped into a novel, reincarnated as a trust fund kid whose only ambition was to coast. And my mother, a woman who considers coasting a cardinal sin, was forcing me into a blind date with an Ice Queen CEO. Fine, I'd make an appearance. Damn, those legs are a mile long. Body's a 10 out of 10. Too bad, she's an iceberg with a bipolar diagnosis. Marrying her would be like living in a blender set to puree. Across the table, the Ice Queen CEO, Stella Sterling, tightened her grip on her coffee cup. Okay, let's get this over with. I've got a new batch of fig-infused gin calling my name at home. That merger her company is working on? Total disaster. The other guys are setting her up for a fall. In 3 days, her capital flow will dry up, and it'll be too late to cry. TSK, what a waste of a pretty face. Stella Sterling looked up. Her eyes, which could have frozen hell over, locked onto mine. She spoke, enunciating every word. What were you just thinking? Leo Vance, I swear to God, if you stand up Stella Sterling today, I will break both your legs. My mother's phone call had dragged me out of a perfectly good nap. Her voice, even through the speaker, had enough force to make my ears ring. I rubbed my eyes and yawned. Mom, I told you, I'm not interested in some corporate merger via matrimony. I just want to chill, be an unremarkable trust fund kid. What's so wrong with that? Everything. Look at you, wasting your life. All you do is eat, sleep, or mess around with those ridiculous plants and brew your worthless homemade liquor. You're an embarrassment to your father and me. I sighed. It wasn't my fault, really. My name is Leo Vance, and I'm a transmigrator. I'd woken up in this power fantasy novel I'd read, reincarnated as a top-tier trust fund kid with the same name. In the original story, my character was a starter villain. I was supposed to fight the protagonist over a girl, get my family's company bankrupted in about 3 chapters, and meet a miserable end. Knowing all that, why the hell would I try? My objective was clear. Stay away from the protagonist, stay away from the plot, and enjoy the good life. The gym, 5-star restaurants, craft distilling. Wasn't that better than fighting to the death with some chosen one? As for my mom's Miss Sterling, Stella, I knew all about her too. She was a #1 supporting female character in the book. An Ice Queen CEO, a business prodigy, and one of the male lead's eventual conquests. But she had a secret. She was bipolar. Her emotional instability was legendary, and she made the hero's life a living hell in the early stages of the story. A woman like that, I'd run, not walk, in the other direction. Ping. My mom sent me a text. It was a picture of Stella Sterling. In the photo, she was sitting in front of a floor-to-ceiling window, her profile so exquisite it looked like it was sculpted by a master artist. She wore a bespoke power suit, her aura arctic, her gaze distant. Her entire being screamed, "Stay away from me." Damn, I breathed. Those legs, that waist, that face. A rose with thorns, the poisonous kind. Whatever. I'll go meet her. Think of it as appreciating a work of art. In and out, then back home. Half an hour later, I was in the most exclusive cafe in Midtown. Stella was already there. She was exactly like the photo, only more breathtaking in person. She just sat there, and the air around her seemed to crystallize, creating a 10-foot wide no-go zone. I pulled out a chair and sat down, giving her a lazy greeting. "Miss Sterling." "Hi." She shot me a brief glance, saying nothing. The disdain and contempt in her eyes were practically spilling over. I knew that in the eyes of a self-made titan like her, a slacker heir like me was no different from dirt on the sidewalk. I didn't care. Wow, even better up close. That skin, those collarbones. She's just so cold. I wonder if she's this cold in bed. Okay, stop. Think about something important. Her company's merger. I remember the book said it was a massive trap. The other party is run by one of the protagonist's future cronies. They use this deal to lure her in, then pull the rug out from under her in 3 days. Sterling Industries takes a huge hit, and Stella nearly gets kicked off the board. This woman's life is kind of tragic. She's brilliant, but she's too arrogant and, well, sick. She won't even see it coming. Anyway, not my problem. Gotta wrap this up. My fig-infused gin is waiting. Life is short. Drink the good stuff. I picked up my glass of water, ready to make an excuse and bolt. Just then, the eternally frozen expression on Stella's face cracked for the first time. Her fingers clenched around her coffee cup, knuckles turning white. Her stunning eyes were locked on me, filled with shock, confusion, and a sliver of unbelievable terror. Did she hear me? No, impossible. That's not a feature in this world's setup. I cleared my throat, about to say something to break the bizarre silence. But Stella spoke first. Her voice carried a tremor she couldn't hide as she asked, syllable by syllable, "What were you just thinking?" I froze. Holy crap. Is she bluffing? Or could she actually hear me? There's no system, no user manual that mentioned a mind-reading feature. Stay calm, Leo. You're an actor now. Your character is a playboy, an idiot, a screw-up. I stretched my lips into what I hoped was a roguish grin. I was just thinking that you're beautiful, Miss Sterling. More beautiful than any woman I've ever dated. Stella's expression instantly turned glacial again, even colder than before. But then she heard my next thought. Keep acting. Just keep acting. Can't let her figure out who I really am. I just want to coast. Stay away from me. Trouble. But man, her expression changes fast. Shock 1 second. Arctic tundra the next. It's like flipping through a book. So this is what bipolar disorder looks like. Terrifying. Stella. She lifted her coffee cup, trying to take a sip to cover her agitation, but the slight tremor in her hand gave away her inner turmoil. True strength isn't about controlling everything. It's about having the power to let it all go. I just want to let go, but someone always seems determined to make me pick it back up. Seeing the look on her face, like she'd just seen a ghost, was secretly hilarious. Huh, scared you, didn't I? That's what you get for looking down on me. I love it when you can't stand me, but can't do a damn thing about it. Still, this mind-reading thing is insane. Did I mess up the transmigration somehow? Change the timeline? On the surface, I maintain my carefree, slacker persona, even giving her a playful wink. Don't look at me like that, Miss Sterling. I might think you're falling for me. Stella's face went completely dark. She squeezed my name through her teeth. Leo. Vance. Whoa, she's mad. Still looks good, though. An angry ice queen has a certain charm. But seriously, she can't let that merger drag on. The other party's funding is set to clear this afternoon at 3. After that, it'll be too late to back out. Her own VP is the mole who sold her out. TSK, TSK. Betrayed by everyone. How pathetic. Stella's hand was shaking even more violently now. She shot up from her chair, the legs screeching against the floor. Excuse me. She threw the 2 words at me and turned to leave, her heels striking the polished concrete, as if trying to spark a fire. I watched her hurried exit and shrugged. She's leaving already? Great. Save me the trouble of coming up with an excuse. Time to go home and drink. I got up, content, and started humming a little tune as I headed for the door. But as I stepped out of the cafe, I saw that Stella hadn't gone far. She was standing next to a black Bentley, not getting in. Instead, she was on her phone, making what looked like an urgent call. Her expression was more serious than I'd ever seen it, with a hint of panic. It seemed my inner monologue wasn't so inner after all, and she believed me. I stroked my chin. This was starting to get interesting. Back home, I took a long hot bath, slipped into a silk robe, and padded down to my private cellar. Looking at the rows of custom-labeled jars, plum wine, osmanthus brew, lychee cordial, I felt like I'd reached the pinnacle of existence. I ladled out a small glass of my new peach blossom wine. The color was clear, the aroma intoxicating. I'd just taken a sip when my phone rang. It was my mother, the chaos agent. Leo, what did you do? Stella Sterling rejected you. The thunder in her voice was palpable. I cleaned out my ear. So, she rejected me. I wasn't interested anyway. Mom, you should try my new peach blossom wine. Drink, drink, drink. That's all you know. She said you were flippant, shallow, and utterly useless, unworthy of being her partner. Oh, well, that's a pretty accurate assessment, I said, not the least bit offended. Duh. If I didn't act shallow and useless, were you going to gift wrap me and send me off to fight the protagonist? The other end of the line went silent. After a few seconds, my mother's tone became strange. Son, tell me the truth. Do you have some kind of secret informant? I almost choked on my wine. Mom, what are you talking about? I'm an open book. Then how did you know there was a problem with the Sterling Industries merger? Me? My mom lowered her voice. Stella's father, Mr. Sterling, just call me personally. He said after Stella got back, she immediately terminated the ongoing merger and fired a VP on the spot. The board went crazy, but then they investigated. That VP really was a corporate spy, and the merger was a huge trap. If she'd been half a day later, Sterling Industries would have lost billions. I stood there, phone in hand, stunned. Damn, Stella worked fast. Mister, Sterling asked me where you got your information. He said that tip was priceless. My scalp started to tingle. Crap, I overdid it. I just want to coast, not become some business oracle. How do I explain this? I had a prophetic dream? No, that's too crazy. Got it. I clear my throat. Mom, tell Mr. Sterling I heard it from the janitor. My mom. What janitor? I started spinning the yarn with a straight face. The one downstairs of the Vance Corp building. I went to see Dad the other day, saw him reading the Wall Street Journal. So I struck up a conversation. He told me he used to be a big shot trader on Wall Street. Got tired of the game. Came back here to sweep floors for some peace and quiet. Dead silence on the other end. My mom was quiet for a full 30 seconds before asking in a tone that suggested she thought I'd lost my mind. The janitor. Yep, I said, not batting an eye. There's no way to verify it. This world is already illogical. What's one more hidden master sweeping floors? Sounds perfectly reasonable to me. That should get me off the hook, right? I'm just an ordinary, unremarkable messenger boy. My mom let out a long, weary sigh and hung up. I figured she was probably questioning her entire existence right now. Finally, some peace and quiet. I went back to enjoying my wine, but I was far too naive. The next morning, I was woken by a frantic ringing of the doorbell. I stumbled to the door, hair a mess, wearing nothing but a robe. The person standing on my doorstep shocked me fully awake. Stella Sterling. She wasn't in a power suit today. She wore a cream-colored Chanel lounge set that softened her sharp edges. But her face was still carved from ice. Behind her stood a middle-aged man carrying several expensive-looking bags, probably her butler. Miss Sterling, can I help you with something? I asked, blocking the doorway. Seriously? Waking me up this early? Does she have no decency? Is she here to chew me out? No, wait, I helped her. She should be thanking me. Stella's expression was complicated. She stared at me, as if trying to decipher a puzzle on my face. Then I heard her cool voice. Mr. Vance, I'm here to... Thank you. I blinked. A thank you? About time. But if you're thanking me, why you look like you're here to collect a debt? Stella took a deep breath, clearly trying to control her emotions. Thank you for yesterday. You did me a huge favor. The butler stepped forward, presenting the gift boxes. Mr. Vance, a small token of Miss Sterling's appreciation. I glanced at them. Whoa, a century-old wild ginseng, premium aged pu'er tea, and a Patek Philippe watch that looked like it cost more than my car. She's generous. Not that I need any of this stuff. I'm more of a Vacheron Constantine guy, anyway. But you don't look a gift horse in a mouth. I'll take it. We'll be even, and she can stop bothering me. I lazily accepted the gifts. You're too kind, Miss Sterling. Her gaze fell on the open collar of my robe. I saw the tips of her ears turn a faint shade of pink. Oh, is she blushing? Can't handle my 8-pack in Vilain, huh? I guess she's still a normal woman in her 20s. Even if you've never had a steak, you've seen a cow. And this body is the result of a lot of sweat at the gym. Too bad. I'll show no go. She's bipolar. Stella's face instantly went from pink to white, then to a pale green. She snapped her head up, her eyes like daggers. Mr. Vance, besides these, there's another favor I'd like to ask. My heart sank. Here it comes. The one thing I hate most. What's the hardest debt to repay? A life-saving favor. She's definitely going to ask about the janitor. I put on a troubled expression. Miss Sterling, it was nothing, really. Not worth mentioning. But Stella pressed on. To me, it was everything. I'd like you to introduce me to the master who works downstairs at your company building. She put a special emphasis on the word master, her tone laced with a faint, unmistakable sarcasm. A stampede of 1,000 alpacas thundered through my mind. Crap, she actually came to ask. Where am I supposed to find a mythical janitor for her? Nope, can't let her see through the lie. I let out a deep, theatrical sigh. Miss Sterling, you're putting me in a difficult position. The old man is eccentric. He doesn't like to meet people. The fact that I could even talk to him was a stroke of immense luck. He said the secrets of the universe cannot be revealed. He only told me because he saw that I have a rare and noble spirit. We were fated to meet. Keep spinning, just keep spinning. Stella's mouth twitched. She had probably never heard such a ridiculous excuse in her entire life. Mr. Vance, she said, enunciating every word, I will pay you $10 million for one piece of information. 10 million? That much? My heart skipped a beat. No, Leo, have some integrity. You're a trust fund kid. You don't need the money. What you want is to coast. You want freedom. Money is just paper. You can always make more. But once your freedom is gone, you have nothing. I looked up, my face a mask of righteousness. Miss Sterling, this isn't about money. It's a matter of principle. I can't sell out my friend, even if he was a figment of my imagination. The look Stella gave me grew even stranger. It was a complex mix of, you're a liar, you actually have principles, and are you messing with me? Finally, she nodded, surprisingly not pushing the issue further. Fine, I understand. My apologies for intruding. With that, she turned and left, crisp and decisive. I watched her back and let out a sigh of relief. Finally got rid of her. Wait a second, what was with that look? She doesn't believe me, does she? She's not going to send someone to stake out our corporate building waiting for a janitor, is she? That would blow my cover. A jolt of panic shot through me. I yelled after her retreating form, Miss Sterling. She paused and turned back. Thinking fast, I shouted, the old man said he's going on a spiritual journey next week. He doesn't know when he'll be back. Stella. She gave me one last, long look that seemed to say, keep talking, then got in her car without another word. The Bentley sped away. I stood there on my doorstep, feeling like an absolute clown. Life is a stage, but it felt like someone was secretly adding scenes to my script. After sending Stella on her way, I felt completely drained. Dealing with a woman that's smart was exhausting. I decided to treat myself to a good meal to recover. I took my flashy Lamborghini and headed to a new private kitchen in the South Village. The place specialized in new American cuisine, and the chef was rumored to have worked at the White House. They only served 10 tables a night. I might be committed to coasting, but when it came to food, I never compromised. Just as I parked, I saw a familiar figure. Lily Chun, the actual heroine of the original novel, a girl as sweet as an angel. She was wearing a simple white sundress, her long hair falling over her shoulders. She was crouched by the side of the road, carefully feeding a stray cat. The sunlight caught in her hair, making her seem to glow. TSK. Can't mistake the heroine. She's got the holy light effect turned up to max. According to the plot, some idiot rich kid should show up right about now to harass her. Then the hero will make his grand entrance, save the day, and their love story will begin. I need to get out of here before I get caught in the crossfire. I was about to take a detour when a grating voice cut through the air. Well, if it isn't the little princess of the Chun family. What's this? Got money to feed stray cats, but not to pay your debts. I turned to see a slick-haired young man flanked by 2 bodyguards, blocking Lily's path. It was that idiot from the King family, Spencer King. I just heard about his glorious exploits from Stella yesterday. Her counter-move had practically cost him his entire fortune. I couldn't believe he wasn't on a ledge somewhere, but was here, bullying a girl instead. Lily stood up, her small face tight. Spencer, my family's business has nothing to do with you. Nothing to do with me? Spencer smirked. Your dad owes my dad $100 million. You tell me if it has anything to do with me. But hey, if you're willing to have a few drinks with me, maybe we can work something out. He reached out to grab her wrist. I sighed. Here we go. The classic scene. Where's the hero? Why isn't he here yet? Your girl's about to get snatched. Guess I can't count on him. This is the real world, not a novel. If the plot deviates, this girl could be in real trouble. I may want to coast, but I'm not heartless. Besides, this Spencer guy just screwed over Stella yesterday and is harassing Lily today. Old grudges and new. I started walking over. Harassing a girl in broad daylight. Is this what the King family calls a proper upbringing? Spencer turned, saw me, and after a moment of surprise, sneered. Look who it is. The useless heir of the Vance family. What? You want to play the hero? His bodyguards grinned maliciously. I ignored him and looked at Lily, offering her a smile. You okay? She shook her head, her big eyes wide with fear and gratitude. Yep, even cuter up close. Eyes like a deer, so clear. It's a different kind of beauty from Stella's aggressive power. This is the kind of cute that could melt your heart. Spencer, furious at being ignored, snapped, Leo Vance, I'm talking to you. Don't push your luck. You're really going to stick your nose in this. I dug a finger in my ear. First, she's my friend. Second, you're ugly, and it's ruining my appetite. Scram before I have to get physical. Physical? You. Spencer laughed, as if it were the funniest joke he'd ever heard. A weakling like you wouldn't hurt a fly. The words were barely out of his mouth when I moved. No one saw it happen. There was just a sharp smack. A perfect red handprint appeared on Spencer's face. He spun around once and fell flat on his ass. His bodyguard stared, dumbfounded. I was a little surprised myself. Whoa, when did I get this strong? Is this a transmigration perk? Or is all that time at the gym finally paying off? Damn, that felt good. Spencer held his cheek, staring at me in disbelief. You hit me. So what if I did? I flexed my hand. Get lost, or the other cheek gets a matching one. The two bodyguards snapped out of it and charged at me, roaring. Lily screamed, "Watch out." I pulled her behind me and met the two charging giants head on. Time to see if all these muscles are just for show. What followed was a one-sided beatdown. I didn't use any fancy moves, just simple jabs, hooks, and side kicks. But my speed and power were completely beyond what they could handle. In less than 30 seconds, two bodyguards, both over 6 feet tall, were groaning on the ground. The onlookers were stunned. Isn't that the Vance family's heir? I heard he was useless. How is he such a good fighter? Yeah, that was amazing. 1 against 3. Lily was staring at me, her mouth agape, her eyes shining with admiration. I clapped the dust off my hands, walked over to Spencer, and looked down at him. So, ready to leave now? Terrified, Spencer scrambled to his feet and ran away. I turned back to Lily, giving her what I hoped was a friendly smile. All good. Are you eating here too? Lily nodded like a little chick pecking at grain, her cheeks flushed. Yes. Thank you so much, Mr. Vance. Call me Leo. Huh. Playing the hero feels pretty good. I just hope no one who shouldn't have seen that saw that. The thought had barely crossed my mind when, out of the corner of my eye, I saw a black Bentley parked across the street. A pair of icy eyes were watching me silently through the window. It was Stella. Me. Well, crap. Stella just sat there in her car, watching me and Lily from across the road. Her expression was placid, but for some reason, I felt the temperature inside her car had just dropped 20 degrees. What's she doing here? Following me? No, she's too proud for that. It must be a coincidence. But her seeing me in full-on action hero mode, doesn't that kind of clash with my carefully crafted, useless slacker persona? Great. I haven't even managed to explain the mythical janitor, and now I've added secret badass to my character sheet. In her mind, have I just been upgraded from a pretentious slacker to a dangerous, pretentious slacker? Stella's hands, resting on her lap, slowly tightened into fists. She listened to the endless stream of his thoughts, a storm of emotions brewing inside her. He would jump in to defend a girl he just met, without a second's hesitation. His fighting skills were incredible, nothing like the feeble playboy of the rumors. And when he looked at that girl, his thoughts were filled with a smile. Eyes like a deer, the kind of cute that could melt your heart. Stella's mind replayed Leo's thoughts, and a strange irritation, mixed with something that felt a lot like bitterness, welled up inside her. The feeling was foreign and deeply uncomfortable. She had come here to see what he was up to maybe laugh at his ridiculousness. After realizing the janitor was a lie, she had someone track his movements. She wanted to see what the man with the absurd inner monologue and even more absurd excuses actually did all day. And she'd walked right into a scene from a superhero movie. Didn't he say he just wanted to coast? Why was he sticking his nose into other people's business? Why? Was he smiling at another woman like that? Miss, are we still going in? Her driver asked timidly. This was the restaurant Stella had booked. Stella looked at the two of them across the street, laughing and talking. She uttered 2 cold words. No, go back. The driver didn't dare ask questions and immediately turned the car around. The Bentley drove away silently, and I, completely oblivious, was basking in the joy of having lunch with an angel. Leo, thank you so much. If it weren't for you, I don't know what I would have done today, Lily said, raising her glass of juice and a toast. It was nothing, I said with a wave of my hand. Taking out trash like that is every citizen's duty. Mostly, the guy was ugly and was hitting on the girl I've mentally designated as the heroine of my story. I couldn't stand for that. Lily giggled, her eyes curving into little crescents. You're funny. Just your average, everyday hero. We had a great time. I discovered that Lily wasn't just cute. She was also incredibly kind. She was a jewelry designer with a unique aesthetic, and she was a foodie, too. We talked about everything from knife skills in French cuisine to the nuances of heat in Sichuan cooking. We hit it off immediately. Nice. Chatting with a cute girl like this really lifts the spirits. This is what a heroine should be. Gentle, kind, adorable. Not like a certain iceberg who could double as an air conditioner in the summer. After lunch, I offered to drive her home. Oh no, that's too much trouble, Lily said, waving her hands. No trouble at all. I'm just going home to coast anyway. It's on the way. I insisted, and Lily finally agreed, blushing. When we got to her apartment building, she unbuckled her seatbelt, but didn't get out right away. Leo, she said, biting her lip, to thank you. I was wondering if I could take you to a movie sometime. Whoa, the heroine is asking me out. Isn't this plot moving a little fast? If the hero doesn't show up soon, he's going to find his house empty. My mind was racing, but I kept a smile on my face. Of course, I'd be honored. After setting a date with Lily, I drove home, feeling pretty great. But as I pulled up to my gate, I saw a car I didn't want to see parked in front of my mansion. A black Bentley. Stella was leaning against the car door. She was wearing the same cream-colored lounge set from this morning, but in her arms. She was holding a fluffy, pink bunny rabbit stuffed animal. The image was so jarring it broke my brain. An Ice Queen CEO holding a pink bunny, waiting for me at my front door. I rubbed my eyes to make sure I wasn't hallucinating. What is this? Performance art? Or is this the manic phase of her bipolar disorder kicking in today? That bunny. It's actually kind of cute. Does not match her vibe at all. When Stella saw me, she unconsciously hugged the bunny tighter. She heard it. She heard him say the bunny was kind of cute. This was her deepest secret. In private, she had an obsessive love for all things cute and fluffy. She'd won this bunny from a claw machine at the mall earlier today when she was feeling frustrated. She didn't know why she'd brought it here. Maybe she just wanted an excuse to see him again, to hear more of his. Strange thoughts. Something I can help you with? I asked, walking over after parking my car. Stella tried to hide the bunny behind her back, which only made it more obvious. She cleared her throat and put her Ice Queen mask back on. I'm here to discuss a business proposition. A proposition? I raised an eyebrow. What kind of business could we possibly have? Again, I already told you I'm not interested in your corporate games. Is she trying to hire me as a boy toy? I mean, I'm not entirely against it. No, Leo, have some self-respect. Stella's face darkened again. She took a deep breath, as if enduring a great humiliation. I want you to be my boyfriend. My what now? I thought I'd heard her wrong. She wants me to be her boyfriend. What kind of plot twist is this? That's not how the script goes. Did I accidentally make her fall for me by solving her merger crisis yesterday and showing off my violent aesthetics today? No way, no way. Please, lady, I just want to coast. I don't want to be part of the main plot. Stella saw the look of pure shock on my face, and the humiliation she felt intensified. It was the first time in her life she'd ever made such a proposal to a man, and his reaction was as if she'd offered him a plate of dog crap. She gritted her teeth and squeezed out an explanation. A contract boyfriend. It would be fake. Oh, fake, I said, breathing a sigh of relief. Thank God. Fake is fine. But why me? My reputation as a useless heir is public knowledge. Won't people laugh their asses off if she picks me as her fake boyfriend? As if she'd read my mind. Or, well, she had, Stella said coldly, because your reputation is terrible. Everyone knows you're a playboy with nothing to offer but a handsome face. If I choose you, no one will take it seriously, which means there won't be any messy complications later. Her logic was flawless. I was speechless. Also, Stella added, pausing for effect, you turned down my $10 million information fee yesterday. For this job, the payment is $100 million. Agree to be my contract boyfriend for 3 months. Accompany me to a few necessary events, and $100 million is yours. $100 million? Holy crap. $100 million. This woman is loaded. I mean, I'm not short on cash, but $100 million isn't exactly pocket change. All I have to do is go to a few dinners, stand around, and I get $100 million? That's faster than robbing a bank. This gig might be worth taking. The scales in my mind began to tip violently. On one side was my peaceful, coasting life. On the other was a cool 100 million, basically free for the taking. Stella watched the shifting expressions on my face, but in her head, she was listening to a completely different show. If I take the deal, I can hang around her legally, listen in for more business secrets, maybe get lucky and find another golden opportunity. If I don't take the deal, what if she gets pissed and starts harassing me every day? Then my coasting life is over anyway. Take it. I have to take it. Only an idiot turns down free money. Worst case scenario, I'll do a terrible job and she'll fire me. Stella. So it was about the money and the chance to get lucky with more inside information. For some reason, that answer made her feel a little disappointed. But at the same time, she was relieved. As long as it was about money, it was simple. Any problem that could be solved with money wasn't really a problem. Well, have you decided? Stella asked, a hint of nerves in her voice she couldn't quite hide. I cleared my throat and put on a reluctant expression. Since you're being so sincere, Miss Sterling, I suppose I can. Force myself to agree. But let me be clear, I'm a lazy guy. I can act the part, but don't expect me to do anything extra. Like helping you fight the protagonist crew or manage your company. Not happening. Deal, Stella nodded. You just need to show up when I need you. Otherwise, our lives are separate. Done. I cheerfully stuck out my hand. Stella hesitated for a moment before extending hers to shake mine. Her hand was cool and soft. TSK, this hand. So cool and smooth. Feels nice. Stella's face flushed, and she snatched her hand back as if she'd been burned. I'll have my lawyers draft a contract and send it over. Tomorrow night, there's a charity gala. You'll be my date. She threw the words at me, then turned and practically ran to her car, as if a ghost were chasing her. I watched her fleeing figure, then looked down at the pink bunny rabbit she dropped on the ground. Why are you running? You forgot your rabbit. I bent down and picked it up. It was soft and felt good in my hands. I yelled after the departing car, "Hey, you forgot your rabbit." The car paused for a second, then accelerated even faster. I stood there in the evening breeze, holding a pink bunny, completely bewildered. What the hell was my life now? The next day, my assistant, Matt, was looking at me like I was some kind of wizard. "Mr. Vance, sir, are you really attending the charity gala with Miss Sterling of Sterling Industries?" "Yep. What's wrong?" I asked, sorting through suits in my walk-in closet. "It's just, sir, the rumors are that Miss Sterling is cold, uninterested in men, a complete workaholic. You and her." I wave him off. Don't believe rumors. This is a partnership of titans. Partnership of titans, my ass. It's a cash transaction. Matt's face screamed, "I don't believe you for a second." Just then, my other right-hand man, the manager of my personal investments, called. "Boss, great news." Rick's voice was trembling with excitement. "What's got you so worked up? Those startups you told me to invest in for fun? They've all exploded, especially that one called ByteDance. They launched some short video app, just closed a new round of funding, and our investment has multiplied by 300 times. 300, boss. Oh, was my flat reply. Only 300 times? Small potatoes. In the book, that company becomes a trillion-dollar behemoth. On the other end, Rick was practically sobbing. "Boss, you're a genius. A financial god. I'll follow you to the ends of the earth." I hung up and sighed. See, I really just want to coast, but my talent won't let me. My employees are all acting like they're on steroids, determined to push me onto the throne of the world's richest man. My damned, inescapable brilliance. The charity gala was a sea of designer gowns and clinking champagne glasses. When I walked in with Stella on my arm, the entire ballroom fell silent. Every eye in the place turned on us like a spotlight. Shock, confusion, jealousy, contempt. The emotions were a palpable wave threatening to drown us. Is it the useless heir, Leo Vance? What's he doing with Stella Sterling? Has she lost her mind? Oh my God, my goddess. How could she fall for a pretty boy loser like him? It must be a power play from the Vance family. I don't believe it. The murmurs buzzed around us like flies. I remained unfazed, even taking a moment to appreciate Stella. She was wearing a backless black evening gown tonight. Elegant, sophisticated, like a proud black swan. Her hair, usually in a tight bun, was down, softening her look and adding a touch of feminine charm. TSK, this outfit is a solid 10. Still, she's like a walking refrigerator. But that's a good thing. It'll keep all the annoying guys away. Works for me. Stella could feel the warmth of my arm linked with hers, and she could hear the running commentary in my head just as clearly. The corner of her mouth twitched almost imperceptibly. Watch your expression, she whispered. We're supposed to be a couple right now. Got it, darling, I said, immediately switching to a look of utter adoration, gazing at her as if she were the only woman in the world. Acting? I'm a pro. I was an extra on a couple of movie sets back in the day. This dialogue is a little cheesy, though. Darling. Ugh. Stella's body stiffened slightly. The crowd, seeing our intimate interaction, looked like their jaws were about to hit the floor. Just then, an unwelcome voice cut in. Stella, who's this? A handsome man in a white suit, his eyes holding a hint of malice, walked towards us. I knew him. Ethan Thorne, the protagonist of the original novel. Speak of the devil. The main character has arrived. Look at that entrance, that aura. He's definitely the chosen one. Too bad he's a womanizer, collects them like trading cards. And Stella is the toughest one in his collection to tame. It should be good. Stella frowned when she saw him. Ethan, can I help you? Ethan's gaze landed on me, sharp with scrutiny and hostility. A new friend? Aren't you going to introduce us? His name is Leo Vance, and he's my... Stella paused, as if unsure how to introduce me. I jumped in, wrapping my arm around her waist and pulling her closer. I gave Ethan a brilliant smile. Hi, I'm her boyfriend. Bring it on. Let the games begin. I'm a throwaway character anyway. Might as well kickstart the plot, get you two lovebirds to start your drama, and I can collect my paycheck and go home early. Stella's waist went rigid. She shot me a surprised look. She hadn't expected me to be so provocative. Ethan's face darkened. Boyfriend? Stella, since when did you have a boyfriend? His tone was possessive, as if it were his right to know. I sneered internally. Listen to that. Classic toxic alpha male. Acts like Stella is his personal property. A woman like Stella, who can't be pushed around, hates guys like this. The more you try to control her, the more she'll resist. Low EQ, Mr. Protagonist. Sure enough, Stella's expression turned cold. Ethan, I don't believe I'm obligated to report my dating life to you. She leaned into my embrace, adopting a posture of demure affection. Even though I knew it was an act, her soft touch still sent a jolt through me. Wow, this woman is a damn good actress. And she's really stacked. Stella's cheeks flushed crimson, and she pinched my side hard. I sucked in a sharp breath, but kept the lovesick smile plastered on my face. To everyone else, it just looked like a playful lover's quarrel. Ethan's face was now as black as thunder. He stared daggers at me. Leo Vance, is it? I'll remember you. Please do. It's an easy name to remember, I said with a careless shrug. Remember me for what? Want to send me money? I'm open to donations. Gladly accepted. My nonchalant attitude clearly infuriated Ethan. He snorted and stalked away. Crisis averted. Stella immediately stepped out of my arms, reestablishing a 3-foot safety perimeter between us. Why did you do that just now? She asked, her voice laced with curiosity. Helping you out, my dear employer, I said, holding in my hands. It's part of the service. No extra charge. Mostly, I just can't stand that Thorne guy. He acts like every woman in the world should be falling at his feet. But I have to admit, when Stella was leaning against me, she smelled really nice. Stella's ears turned red again. She turned away. Consider us even. Just then, the host took the stage to announce the start of the charity auction. The first item was a landscape painting by a famous contemporary artist. I wasn't interested. I was about to find a quiet corner and get some food, but Stella suddenly grabbed my arm. Wait, what now? My contract covers being your date and your shield, not your conversation partner. Stella shot me a glare, then lowered her voice. That painting, I want you to buy it for me. I followed her gaze. The opening bid was $100,000. You like it? It's not for me. Stella's expression was complex. It's for Lily Chun. I saw her staring at it. I was stunned. I looked over and, sure enough, Lily was sitting in an inconspicuous corner, her eyes full of longing for the painting. She was here tonight, too, wearing a pale yellow gown, looking like a quiet daffodil. Stella is paying attention to Lily, In the book, they're mortal enemies, fighting over the hero. And now Stella wants to buy a painting for her. This timeline is a complete mess. But why? Is it a power move? Or does she genuinely want to help her? I couldn't figure Stella out. This woman was far more complicated than I thought. What are you staring at me for? Bid, Stella urged, seeing me zone out. All right. I came back to reality and lazily raised my paddle. 110,000. My bid immediately drew attention. After all, in everyone's eyes, I was just a rich idiot throwing money around. Lily noticed me too. Her eyes dimmed slightly when she saw Stella by my side, but she gave us a polite smile. The price quickly rose to 200,000. Ethan Thorne joined the bidding. He seemed to be trying to show off for Stella, raising his paddle frequently and shooting me a challenging look. 250,000, Ethan bid. I yawned, about to raise my paddle again, but Stella put her hand on mine, stopping me. Don't, she whispered. I froze. We're not buying it? I thought you wanted to give it to Lily. What is with this woman? One minute she wants it, the next she doesn't. Is this the bipolar mood swing in action? Stella's face was grim. Of course she wanted to buy it. But when she saw Ethan raise his paddle, she also saw Lily's eyes light up. She suddenly remembered. In the original novel, this painting was the gift Ethan bought for Lily, a key moment that sparked their romance. She didn't want to help them. This dark, possessive emotion, so foreign to her, was unsettling. I said, don't bid. She repeated, her tone sharp. All right, you're the boss. I shrugged and lowered my paddle. I'll never understand women. Whatever. Saves money. Fine by me. In the end, Ethan won the painting for $300,000. He walked off the stage, looking smug, and headed straight for Lily. We weren't far, so we could hear their conversation clearly. Lily, this is for you. I hope you like it, Ethan said, offering her the painting with a warm smile. Lily was taken aback. Oh no, Mr. Thorne, I couldn't. It's too expensive. For me, nothing is more valuable than your smile, Ethan said, his voice dripping with affection. A ripple of whispers and envious sighs went through the nearby crowd. I glanced at Stella. Her face was a mask of calm, but her knuckles were white as she gripped her wine glass. Ooh, is that jealousy? No, that doesn't make sense. She doesn't even like Ethan. Is she jealous of Lily getting attention? No, that's not it either. She wanted to buy it for her a minute ago. I get it. She's not mad that Lily is getting a gift. She's mad that Lily is getting a gift from Ethan. She's protecting Lily? Treating her like she's her property and no other man is allowed to touch. Whoa, that's some serious possessiveness. The love of an Ice Queen CEO is intense. Stella's body jolted. Protecting? Possessiveness. The words from Leo's thoughts stunned her. She just felt that Ethan wasn't good enough for a sweet girl like Lily. Yes, that had to be it. Just then, it looked like Lily was about to give in to Ethan's charm and accept the painting. I sighed. Well, my employer's wish went unfulfilled. As a loyal employee, I should probably do something to fix this. Can't let that $100 million contract go to waste. I picked up 2 glasses of champagne, stood up, and walked over to them. Mr. Thorne, congratulations. 300,000 for a forgery. You got guts. I spoke with a smile, my voice quiet but carrying like a thunderclap in the silent corner of the room. Every head in the vicinity snapped in our direction. Ethan's face instantly turned green. Leo Vance, what nonsense are you talking about? Lily was frozen, her hand hovering over the painting. Nonsense. I walked up to the painting and pointed to a small, inconspicuous seal in the bottom right corner. The artist, Master Zhang, had a very specific habit with his seal. He never let it touch his signature. But on this one, the edge of the seal overlaps the final stroke of his name. I paused, then pointed to a bamboo grove in the painting. Furthermore, when Master Zhang painted bamboo, he did it in a single, fluid motion. The shape of the leaves would vary subtly with the amount of ink on the brush. Look at this one. Every leaf is identical, like it was printed. This isn't a painting, it's a high-quality print. As I spoke, some of the art connoisseurs in the crowd started nodding. He's right. That's one of Master Zhang's trademarks. Wow, young Mr. Vance really knows his stuff. Well, this is awkward for Mr. Thorne. Ethan's face cycled through shades of green, red, and purple. He never dreamed that the useless idiot he looked down on would have such a deep knowledge of art. Lily was also staring at me, her eyes sparkling with admiration. I gave her a wink, then turned back to Ethan. Mr. Thorne, shall we call in an expert to verify? Ethan's face was the color of a ripe plum. He glared at me, speechless. Finally, he slammed the painting down on a nearby table and stormed off. The drama was over. I handed a glass of champagne to Lily. Don't mind him. He's not worth it. Lily took the glass. Thank you, Leo. You saved me again. Like I said, we're friends. Haha, mission accomplished. Sabotaged the hero and heroine's romantic moment. Scored points with the heroine and fulfilled my employer's hidden agenda. I'm a genius. I was mentally patting myself on the back when I turned and met Stella's gaze. Her eyes were deep and complex. She just looked at me, saying nothing. But I had the distinct feeling that she was smiling. After the gala, Stella and I sat in the car on the way home. The silence was a little strange. I could feel her sneaking glances at me. What are you looking at? Never seen a handsome guy before. Although, I have to admit, I was pretty impressive today. A scholar who can appraise art and a warrior who can fight. The complete package. Too bad my only ambition is to be a human-shaped couch potato. Stella finally broke the silence. How did you know all that? Know what? I asked, playing dumb. Art appraisal. Oh, that. I made something up on the spot. My grandfather was a collector. I picked up a few things growing up. Actually, I learned it in my past life as a museum docent. Stella clearly didn't buy it. Did your janitor friend teach you that, too? She asked, her tone probing. My heart skipped a beat. She's still on about the janitor? This woman is relentless. Looks like I have to keep this story going. I gave her a mysterious smile. That's a secret. Stella. She looked like she wanted to punch me. She desperately wanted to pry open my head and see what other secrets were hiding in there. This man was like an onion. You peel back one layer, and there's another, and every single one was a surprise. On the surface, he was lazy, flippant, even a bit of a leck. But his mind was like a grandmaster strategist, seeing through everything. He could spot a business trap from a mile away, identify a forgery in seconds, and knock out 2 bodyguards with his bare hands. Who was he, really? The car pulled up to my mansion. All right, work's over for the day. Don't forget to wire me my $100 million, I said, unbuckling my seatbelt. Wait, Stella said. What now, boss? Stella wasn't looking at me. She stared out the window, her voice soft. Today. Thank you. This thank you sounded much more sincere than the one from this morning. I blinked. Whoa, the iceberg is giving a genuine thank you. Did the sun rise in the west today? But what's she thanking me for? For shutting down Ethan, or for helping Lily, whatever. My character is all about the money. I yawned. Don't thank me. Just pay me. The corner of Stella's mouth seemed to curve upward for a split second, so fast it might have been my imagination. You'll get every penny, she said. And that rabbit. She trailed off, as if the words were hard to say. I finally remembered the pink bunny she'd abandoned. It was still in my house. Oh, the rabbit. It's at my place. If you want it, you can come pick it up tomorrow. Okay, she said the word, and then nothing. The silence in the car returned. I was getting impatient. Why won't she let me leave? Is she trying to create some kind of romantic tension by keeping me in the car with her? Lady, I have an appointment with a legendary short rib popover tomorrow morning. Let me go. In the dim light of the car, Stella's cheeks quietly flushed. She practically shoved the door open. Get out. Me? This woman's moods were a roller coaster. I quickly got out and walked toward my house without looking back. Behind me, the Bentley's engine roared to life and disappeared into the night. What I didn't know was that inside the car, Stella was pressing her hands to her burning cheeks, trying to calm her racing heart. Her mind was filled with my last thought. Short rib popover. She pulled out her phone and texted her assistant. Find out which restaurant in the city makes the best short rib popovers. The next day, I was up at the crack of dawn, driving to that legendary old-school brunch spot. When I got there, I saw a familiar face at the front of the line. Lily Chun. She was there for the popovers, too. Leo? What a coincidence. Lily's face lit up when she saw me. It really is, I smiled. Is this fate? Even our breakfast cravings are in sync. Nice. Starting the day with a cute girl is guaranteed to put me in a good mood. As we were chatting, an even more familiar figure appeared. Stella Sterling. She was in a sleek, athletic outfit, her hair in a high ponytail, and a pair of huge sunglasses covering half her face. She walked straight to the back of the very long line and began to wait. Me? Lily, what's she doing here? And she's waiting in line. The CEO of Sterling Industries is personally waiting in line for a popover? Don't tell me. She heard my thoughts and came here on purpose. My scalp prickled. This woman was terrifying. Standing in line, feeling the stares from every direction, Stella wished the ground would swallow her whole. She didn't know why she'd come. After getting her assistant's text last night, some strange impulse had possessed her, and she decided she had to try them this morning. She told herself she was just verifying if Leo's taste in food was really that good. Yes, that was all. But when she saw him standing with Lily, laughing and talking, that familiar irritation surged through her again. She felt like that spot next to him should have been hers. Just then, the owner of the shop stuck his head out the door. Sorry, folks. That's the last of the short rib popovers for today. A collective groan went through the line. I was stunned. You gotta be kidding me. I woke up this early for nothing. Lily's face fell in disappointment. But at the back of the line, behind a pair of dark sunglasses, the corner of Stella Sterling's mouth curved into a tiny, triumphant smirk. That's what you get for trying to eat with another woman. Serves you right. Missing out on the popovers ruined my whole day. That afternoon, as I was lying on the couch contemplating the meaning of life, my assistant Matt burst in again. Mr. Vance! Mr. Vance! It's huge. Did the sky fall? I asked without opening my eyes. Worse. Our company's stock. It hit the limit up. Oh. Just oh. Matt looked like he was about to cry. Sir, do you know why? Why? Because a new hashtag started trending online. The CEO of Vance Corp didn't get out of bed today either. Me? I shot up from the couch. Matt handed me his phone, and I almost fainted from rage. Number 1 on the trending list, with a little fire emoji next to it. I clicked on it. It was a bunch of finance bloggers and so-called insiders analyzing the situation. According to reliable sources, Vance Corp CEO Leo Vance continues to maintain his coasting lifestyle, waking up whenever he wants and only swinging by the office in the afternoon. What does this signify? It signifies that he has absolute confidence in his company's performance. This is the calm of a true king. A real master never watches the board. Leo Vance is playing 4D chess. All in on VNC stock, following Mr. Vance to my beachfront mansion. The comments were a flood of praise, calling me a stock market Buddha and the king of quiet quitting. I stared at the screen, my vision going dark. That's not me. I didn't. They're making it up. I'm just lazy. I just don't want to go to work. You idiots, stop writing your own fanfiction about my life. Matt was still buzzing with excitement next to me. Sir, you're a genius. This rule by doing nothing strategy is a marketing masterpiece. The whole internet is calling you a Zen master of finance. I buried my face in my hands. I really just want to be a useless failure. Why is the entire world trying to force me to be a titan of industry? As I was wallowing in my misery, the doorbell rang. Matt went to get it and came back with a strange expression on his face. Sir, Miss Sterling is here. I looked up to see Stella walking in. She was wearing a simple black dress and, in her hands, was that pink bunny again. What do you want? I asked, my voice flat. Are you here for your rabbit? Or to laugh at my newfound fame? Stella didn't say anything. She placed the bunny on the couch, then took an elegant container out of her bag and set on the coffee table in front of me. What's this? Open it. I cautiously opened the container, and a rich, savory aroma hit me. Inside, nestled in perfect rows, were golden brown, steaming hot, short rib popovers. I froze. Popovers? How? How did she get them? Did she pull some strings, get the owner to make a special batch just for her? Did she bring them here for me? For the first time, I felt something for this Ice Queen CEO other than trouble and beautiful. It was warmth. Stella watched my stunned reaction, feeling a little proud and a little nervous. Of course, she'd pulled strings. One phone call, and the owner had closed up shop to bake a special order just for her. She didn't know why she'd done it. Maybe she just didn't want to see that disappointed look on his face again. Or maybe she wanted to show him that only she could give him everything he wanted. Eat. They're still warm, she said, her voice carefully neutral. Consider it. A thank you for your help at the gala. I picked one up and took a bite. Crispy on the outside, tender and savory on the inside, with a rich, beefy juice. This was it. Delicious. So damn delicious. I never knew an iceberg could be so considerate. If she didn't have that bipolar thing, she'd actually make a pretty good wife. No, what are you thinking, Leo? Your goal is an angel like Lily. Hearing that last thought, Stella's eyes dimmed a little. Lily again. Is she really that great? I was happily eating when Stella spoke. I saw the news online. I paused mid-chew. It's all just rumors, I mumbled. Is it? A playful smile touched her lips. I think they have a point. Kings are indeed very calm. Me? She's definitely mocking me. Whatever. For the sake of these popovers, I'll let it slide. I channeled my frustration into my appetite and polished off the entire container. Afterward, I let out a satisfied burp. Okay, I ate the food. I accepted the gift. You can go now, right? I said, trying to get rid of her. Stella didn't move. She looked at me and suddenly asked, Leo, what do you really want? I froze. What do I want? I want world peace. I want to eat my way through every Michelin-starred restaurant on Earth. I want to brew the perfect gin. I want a sweet wife like Lily, and I want to lie on a couch comfortably for the rest of my life. Obviously, I couldn't say any of that. I looked at her and said, very seriously, what I want is simple. For you to stop bothering me. Stella's body went rigid. The color drained from her face, leaving it a stark white. Her beautiful eyes instantly filled with tears, like a kitten abandoned by its owner, filled with hurt and despair. I was floored. No way. What did I say? Why is she about to cry? Bipolar disorder. Is this the depressive episode kicking in? Oh, crap. I can't handle crying women. What do I do? What do I do? Console her? How? I have no idea how. I was panicking, scrambling like an idiot. And Stella just stared at me, her eyes red, as a single tear rolled down her cheek and landed with a soft pad on the pink bunny. I completely lost it. Crying. She's actually crying. What do I do? It was just a stupid joke. Why did she take it seriously? Damn this illness. She's so sensitive. Think, Leo, think. Making a woman cry is not gentlemanly behavior. I clumsily pulled a few tissues from a box and held them out to her. Hey, don't cry. I was just kidding. Stella didn't take the tissues. She just looked at me, tears streaming down her face like a broken string of pearls. She didn't want to cry, but when she heard the thoughts in my head, how I found her annoying, how I saw her as a hassle, how all I wanted was to be with Lily, and combined them with my cold, spoken words, stop bothering me. A crushing wave of despair washed over her. She felt like a joke. She'd swallowed her pride, made the first move, brought him the food he wanted, and all she got in return was a brutal dismissal. Why? Why could Lily do nothing and still get all the warmth in his heart? While everything she did was wrong, everything was just a bother. Am I really annoying? She choked out, her voice barely a whisper. My head was about to explode. Well, duh, lady. You walk around with a face that could freeze fire. Who would dare like you? But I can't say that. If I say that, she'll cry even harder. I took a deep breath and dredged my brain for any comforting words I could find. No, of course not. How could you be annoying? You're beautiful. You're rich. You're powerful. You're the most amazing woman in the world. Right, just keep complimenting her. Women like compliments. Her crying subsided a little, but she was still sniffling. Then why? Don't you want to see me? Because you're dangerous, lady. You're in the hero's harem. If I get involved with you, he'll see me as a rival and destroy me. I just want to protect my own neck and coast in peace. I couldn't say that, not in a million years. My eyes darted around, and I landed on a brilliant excuse. I leaned in closer, lowered my voice, and said in a tone of great mystery, Stella, do you believe in the sun? She froze, forgetting to cry. What? I put on a pained expression. It's because you're too amazing, too brilliant. You shine like the sun, and I can't even look at you directly. When I'm with you, I feel like a speck of dust on the ground. I feel small, insignificant. That's why I want to run away. Holy crap, I'm a genius. This excuse is textbook perfect. It compliments her, explains my behavior, and even gives me a tragic, I'm not worthy of you backstory. Flawless. Stella was completely and utterly dumbfounded. She stared at me, at the sincere and agonized look on my face, while simultaneously listening to the triumphant, self-congratulatory monologue in my head. A profound sense of absurdity washed over her. She suddenly felt like she had wasted every single one of her tears. This man was a complete, unadulterated bastard, a lying scumbag. A small laugh escaped her lips. It was the kind of laugh that was equal parts anger and amusement. Seeing her, with tears still on her cheeks but a smile on her face, I found myself staring. She's laughing. My God, when an iceberg laughs, it's actually beautiful. It's like the first thaw of spring. My heart is beating a little fast. Hearing my thoughts, Stella's smile deepened, making the tiny beauty marked by her eye come alive. She reached up, wiped away her tears, and then did something that shocked me. She moved closer, sitting next to me on the couch. She picked up the pink bunny and pushed it into my arms. "This is for you." "For me?" I asked, holding the fluffy rabbit, completely baffled. "Why?" "Because," Stella said, looking me straight in the eye, her voice clear and steady. "You said it was cute." She mimicked the wink I'd given her at the gala. "Besides," she continued, her smile turning mischievous, "I want to see what a speck of dust looks like when it's holding a piece of the sun." Me? I think I just got played. This woman was using my own lines against me. She was flirting with me. This world had gone completely insane. After Stella gave me the rabbit, our relationship entered a strange new phase. She wasn't an iceberg anymore. She was still quiet, but her eyes were softer, and she started showing up in my life constantly. I'd be working out in my home gym in the morning, and she'd knock on the door in athletic wear, holding 2 healthy breakfasts. How does she know I like salmon and avocado toast? I'd go to one of my restaurants at noon to supervise, and she'd show up to inspect a joint venture, sitting across from me and eating in quiet companionship. How did she know I was craving Chippino today? I just decided that last night. I'd be in my cellar in the afternoon, tinkering with my infusions, and she'd sit in a nearby armchair with a thick economics textbook, reading for hours. Did she plant a tracking device on me? My mind was screaming, but my body was being honest with itself. Having someone to eat with, someone to bring you breakfast, it wasn't so bad, especially when that someone was a breathtakingly beautiful woman. My assistant Matt and my butler, Alfred, started looking at me differently. They seemed to think that their useless boss had actually managed to tame the untouchable Ice Queen. One day, I was sunbathing in the garden when Lily called. "Leo, are you free anytime soon?" she asked, her voice hesitant. "For you? I'm always free." The angel finally remembered me. Thank God. Any longer, I was going to melt under the heat of that former iceberg. Well, a set of jewelry I designed was nominated for a big international award, and the ceremony is in Paris next week. I was wondering if you'd come with me, she said, her voice full of hope and shyness. We could make a trip out of it. Paris? Hell yeah. The city of love. Going to Paris with an angel. That's the plot line I've been dreaming of. I was about to say yes when a cool voice spoke from behind me. He's busy. I turned to see Stella standing there, arms crossed, staring coldly at the phone in my hand. Me? Where did you even come from? Lily heard her on the other end. After a moment of silence, she asked quietly, Leo, is someone there with you? Yeah, just a friend, I said vaguely. Stella snatched the phone from my hand. Miss Chun, she said into the receiver, her tone leaving no room for argument. He's accompanying me to Europe next week to scout a new project. He won't be able to accept your invitation. And with that, she hung up. I stared at her, my jaw on the floor. Stella, what the hell was that? I was genuinely angry now. That was my heroine, my angel, my ticket to a coasting life. And you just torpedoed it. My $100 million contract does not include controlling my personal life. Seeing my genuine anger, Stella felt a sharp pang of pain. It's always about Lily. Is she really that important? We are in a contract relationship, she said, her face a cold mask. During the contract period, you are not to have an overly intimate relationship with another woman. That's basic professional ethics. A trip to Paris is an intimate relationship. I shot back. An unmarried man and woman, alone in a foreign city? What do you think? Stella's voice rose. How does she know we'd be alone in a foreign city? Wait, my angel and I are pure, although, if we did go, it's not like it's impossible. I guiltily rubbed my nose. Seeing this, Stella got even angrier. Absolutely not, she said, her voice like steel. Next week, you're coming to Europe with me. Otherwise, it's a breach of contract. The penalty is $1 billion. Me? I surrendered. Faced with $1 billion penalty, angels and cities of love were nothing but fleeting dreams. Fine, you win. It's just Europe, right? I'll go. I'll treat it as a company-paid vacation. I'll eat at every Michelin restaurant, stay in every presidential suite, and put it all on your card. I'll eat you into bankruptcy. I'll shop you into oblivion. Listening to my vicious inner monologue, Stella's tense expression finally softened. She even found his childish, fuming tantrum to be a little cute. On the private jet to Europe, I saw someone I didn't expect. Ethan Thorne. He was on the plane with us. This guy just won't go away. Why is he here? Oh, right. In the book, Stella's trip to Europe was to negotiate a microchip partnership with his family. But he sets her up, the deal falls through, and he almost steals her core technology. Stella, you need to be careful. Don't get played for a fool again. Stella's eyes instantly sharpened. She gave Ethan a subtle glance, then leaned toward me and whispered, "What did you just think of?" I leaned back in the plush leather seat. I was just wondering whether European steak is better medium rare or rare. Stella. She knew he was playing dumb again. But this time, she wasn't going to be passive. She took out her phone and sent a text to her CTO. Halt all technical exchanges with the Thorne Group. Await my command. A few rows away, Ethan watched us whispering and looking cozy, his expression dark enough to curdle milk. He clenched his fists, a cold smile on his face. Leo Vance? Useless waste of space. Just wait until we get to Europe. On my turf, I'll show you the meaning of despair. Once we landed and checked into the hotel, Stella immediately dove into work, and I began my grand tour of coasting. With the black card Stella had given me, I started spending without a shred of guilt. In the morning, I went to the Louvre to soak in some culture, mentally complaining that the Mona Lisa's smile wasn't as sweet as Lily's. For lunch, I picked a random 3-star Michelin restaurant and ordered one of everything. In the afternoon, I hit the luxury boutiques on the Champs-Élysées, buying gifts for myself, my parents, and even my assistant, Matt. Can't forget the people back home. This dress is nice. It would look good on Lily. I'll give it to her when I get back. This bracelet is pretty too. I wonder what it would look like on Stella. Nah, she'd never wear something so flashy. Meanwhile, the negotiations between Stella and Ethan had hit a wall. Just as my thoughts had predicted, Ethan had laid a trap. His proposal looked incredibly generous on the surface, but it was riddled with clauses designed to steal Sterling Industries' latest chip technology. But thanks to my warning, Stella was prepared. No matter how smoothly Ethan talked, Stella held her ground, refusing to divulge any core information. Ethan was getting desperate. He never expected the proud, arrogant Stella Sterling to be so cautious this time. She was like a porcupine, impossible to get close to. He blamed it all on me. It had to be me, that useless playboy, whispering nonsense in her ear. That evening, Stella hosted a small business reception in the hotel ballroom. As her plus one, I naturally had to be there. Ethan cornered me, a drink in his hand. "Leo, enjoying your trip?" he asked, a smile not reaching his eyes. "It's okay. The wine here isn't great, though. My homemade stuff is better," I said honestly. Ethan's smile twitched, casting pearls before swine. He swallowed his anger and leaned in close. "Leo Vance, I'll give you $100 million. Leave Stella. She's out of your league." I blinked. Another $100 million. Is the market rate for getting rid of me really that high? Why is everyone trying to throw money at me? Still, your $100 million looks a little weak compared to Stella's $1 billion penalty. I gave Ethan a look that said, "Are you kidding me?" "Mr. Thorne, do I look like I need money?" I said, flashing the black card. "My girlfriend said I can spend as much as I want." Ethan's face turned to stone. "Don't push me," he threatened. "Do you have any idea how easily I could make your life a living hell here?" "Oh, really?" Before I could say more, a booming voice echoed from across the room. "Who dares threaten my honored guest?" A white-haired but energetic old man, surrounded by an entourage, strode towards us. I knew him. The current head of the Rothschild family, a titan of global finance, Mr. Jacob Rothschild. What's he doing here? Oh, right. My dad saved his life once. We're family friends. Ethan looked like he was about to faint. Mr. Rothschild, he stammered. What are you doing here?" Jacob ignored him completely and walked straight to me, pulling me into a warm hug. "Oh, my dear Leo, you came to Europe and didn't tell me. How is your father?" I patted his back. "He's great, Grandpa Jacob, still nagging me to get married." "Ha ha ha, it's about time." Jacob laughed heartily. Then his eyes fell on Stella, a knowing smile spreading across his face. "And is this beautiful young lady your girlfriend? You have excellent taste." Stella was also in shock, but she recovered quickly, extending a hand politely. "Mr. Rothschild, it's an honor. I'm Stella Sterling." The entire room was silent. Everyone was staring at me like I had just landed from another planet. Especially Ethan. His face was as white as a sheet. He never would have dreamed that the useless idiot he despised was on a first name. No, a grandfather-grandson basis with the head of the Rothschild family. Man, it feels good to flex. I mean, it's my dad's connection, but by the transit of property, that basically makes me awesome. I bet Ethan has pissed his pants by now. Ha ha. Basking in the stunned silence, I felt a deep sense of satisfaction. This, right here, was the highest level of coasting, winning without even trying. This was the meaning of life. Jacob's appearance was a bombshell that completely changed the game. All the vultures that had been circling Sterling Industries instantly scattered. Ethan Thorne became the laughingstock of the European business community. He couldn't even look Jacob in the eye and ended up flying back home in disgrace. Stella's trip was an overwhelming success. Not only did she avoid Ethan's trap, but with Jacob's help, she secured a preliminary partnership with Europe's largest chip manufacturer. And it was all because of me. On the flight home, Stella kept looking at me, her eyes filled with a mixture of curiosity, awe, and maybe a little bit of hero worship. "Don't look at me like that. You'll make me blush. I told you, I just want to be a slacker. You all are the ones forcing me to be a badass." Sigh. It's so lonely at the top. The corners of Stella's lips curved into a smile. She was realizing that she was becoming addicted to hearing his thoughts. His arrogant, self-aggrandizing internal commentary was a hilarious and welcome break from the stress of her work. "Is the contract still on?" she asked suddenly. "What contract?" I asked, momentarily confused. "The contract for being my boyfriend." "Of course it is," I said immediately. "The penalty is $1 billion. I can't afford that." "Are you kidding? I haven't even gotten my 100 million yet." Stella just said, "Okay," and didn't say anything more, but her mood had visibly brightened. Back home, life returned to a semblance of normality. I went back to my leisurely days of eating, drinking, and coasting. Stella went back to being the Ice Queen CEO. Except now, she came to see me more and more often. Sometimes she'd bring a dessert I'd been craving. Sometimes she'd bring a financial report she couldn't understand and ask for my casual opinion. And sometimes she would just sit quietly with me while I worked on my infusions. The air between us grew thick with unspoken things. Even my mother noticed. "Son," she asked me in a hushed tone, "are you and Stella getting serious?" I vehemently denied it. "No, we have a purely professional employer-employee relationship. Although my heart does start beating a little faster when she's around." One day, Lily called. Her voice was small and sad. "Leo, I'm in trouble." It turned out that while her designs had been nominated, her competitor in the final round had stolen her sketches and was now accusing her of plagiarism. The internet was tearing her apart, and the competition organizers were threatening to disqualify her. Another one of these disgusting plot lines. Not on my watch. No one gets to make my angel feel this way. I shouted from the couch. "Where are you?" "I'm on my way." I drove like a madman to Lily's design studio. She was sitting there all alone, her eyes red and puffy. She looked so lost. I walked over and gently ruffled her hair. "Don't worry. I've got this. Anyone who messes with my people is going to regret it." I pulled out my phone and called Jacob Rothschild. "Grandpa Jacob, I need a small favor." I explained the situation. On the other end, Jacob immediately understood. "Ah, that jewelry competition. The organizer is an old friend of mine. Don't you worry, Leo. Leave it to me. I'll have a satisfactory answer for you in 30 minutes. I hung up and gave Lily an okay sign. "Done." Lily looked at me, completely lost. "Done with what?" Before she could finish her sentence, her phone rang. It was the competition organizers. Their tone was so respectful, it bordered on worshipful. They offered their sincerest apologies for their oversight and explained that after an all-night investigation, they had discovered the truth. Her competitor had been disqualified for plagiarism, and they would be issuing a public apology to Lily. Lily held the phone, completely stunned. She looked at me as if I were a god who could move mountains. Leo, I smiled, about to say something witty. The studio door swung open. Stella was standing in the doorway, holding a thermos. She saw my hand, still resting on Lily's head. She saw the look of pure adoration on Lily's face, and her own face slowly began to freeze over. The temperature in the room plummeted. My heart dropped into my stomach. Oh, this is bad. This is a full-blown five-alarm disaster. An iceberg on one side, an angel on the other, and I'm the idiot in the middle. What do I do? Sending out an S. Oh, S. This is not a drill. Stella just stood there, silent. The cold radiating from her was almost a physical force. The thermos in her hand seemed absurdly out of place. Why is she here again? With a thermos? Don't tell me. Is that more delicious food for me? Let me see. Smells like chicken soup. Pretty good. Oh, this is bad. This is bad. The wife just walked in on the mistress. Wait. What wife? She's the one paying me. Lily is the one I'm actually into. When Stella heard that last thought, she swayed on her feet, the color draining from her face. Lily sensed the tension and took a step away from me, looking nervously at Stella. Miss Sterling. Stella ignored her. Her eyes were locked on me. Leo, come with me. Her voice was like a shard of glass. She turned and walked out. I sighed and said to Lily, I'll be right back. Then I squared my shoulders and followed Stella into the hallway. She stood with her back to me. You love her? She asked, her voice flat and emotionless. Yes, I said. I decided it was time to come clean. The contract was almost up. I made my money. It was time to get back to the original script. Pursue true love and coast through life. Better to rip the Band-Aid off now. It's better for everyone in the long run. A proud woman like her will never stand for this. She'll probably rip up the contract on the spot, and we'll never see each other again. I'll miss the food, though. Stella's shoulders trembled slightly. She was silent for a very long time. So long that I thought she was going to slap me or tell me I was fired, just as I'd imagined. But she didn't. She turned around. Her eyes were red, but there was a stubborn smile on her face. I see, she said. Then she pushed the thermos into my hands. Drink the soup while it's hot. I have to get back to the office. And with that, she fled, practically diving into the elevator. I stood there, holding the warm thermos, completely stunned. What? What was that reaction? She didn't hit me. She didn't yell at me. She gave me soup. This is not how the script goes. I was totally and completely lost. I didn't know that, in the privacy of the elevator, Stella was sliding down the cold metal wall, burying her face in her knees, and crying without making a sound. She had lost. From the very beginning, she had lost. Nothing she did could ever compete with the Lily that lived in his heart. It turned out that love had nothing to do with who was better or who tried harder. After that day, Stella never came to see me again. The $100 million appeared in my account on schedule. Our contract ended with a whisper. I should have been happy. I was finally free to pursue my angel, to live the coasting life I'd always dreamed of. But for some reason, my heart felt empty. When I ate, I would catch myself wondering what expression she would have if she were sitting across from me. When I worked out, I would remember her in her athletic wear, bringing me breakfast. When I was in my cellar, I would remember the long, quiet afternoons when she sat with me, reading her book. Even when I hugged the pink bunny she'd given me at night, I would see her face smiling through her tears. I think I was starting to miss her. One day I was spacing out in the garden when my mother came running out, ecstatic. Leo, great news. Stella Sterling is moving abroad to open up a new market for her company. She'll be gone for years. My heart stopped. I shot to my feet. When's her flight? This afternoon, at 3. I looked at my watch. It was 2:30. I don't know what came over me. My mind went blank. All I knew was that I was sprinting toward the garage. Leo, where are you going? My mom yelled after me. I started the car, slammed the gas pedal to the floor, and peeled out of the driveway. I just knew I couldn't let her leave. I had to stop her. At the airport, a voice over the intercom was announcing the final boarding call for a flight to Paris. I searched the crowds like a man possessed. Finally, at the VIP security gate, I saw her. That familiar, cool, proud figure pulling a single suitcase, looking utterly alone. Stella. I shouted her name. She stopped and turned around. When she saw me, she froze, and her eyes instantly filled with tears. I ran to her, panting, unable to form a single word. What do I say? What do I say? That I love you. But I just told her I loved Lily. Will she believe me now? Will she think this is just another one of my games? Screw it. It's now or never. I looked at her, gathering all the courage I had in the world, and opened my mouth to speak. But Stella suddenly smiled. She was smiling, but tears were streaming down her face. She said, her voice soft and clear, "Leo Vance, you're a fraud. I heard every single one of your thoughts. And